my friend Debbie Holiday once told me, like, man, don't you hate it when people just like looking down the whole set and
Yeah,
they're like into
boring.
themselves and they're just
Yeah.
like, oh, if you want to come in, you can, but you're not. I'm not hoping you do, but I'm like, I want to just like
Yeah.
bring like get them in my face and like look at me. So
Yeah.
Feeling kinda alone and low. Pick me up, flowing, glowing stream. Ooh, she's absent to withhold. I know. Cry me out, and more to cry me. I wanna go viral like a virus. So won't you click on me? You can watch a million ways to die. What you wanna get on the internet?
Hi everyone, I'm Alicia. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight I am joined by, well, it's tonight here, it's not right there. Tonight I'm joined by a sensational musician. It's rock and roller, Derek Day.
yeah, woo! Let's do it, Alex. Oh my god, I'm peeking. All right, here we go. Yes.
Hiya, how are you?
I am great. Oh my god, I keep freaking blowing this up. I'm doing good here in warm, sunny LA.
I know, but I'd rather you than me. It's rubbish weather here in England, as always. I'm sure you Americans must have a horrible opinion of Britain. It's always raining whenever you're here.
That's true. Well, you guys are like an island and stuff. You have like island weather. But I don't know. I've been there once or twice, and I long for it. You know, that's only because I haven't been there that long. I'm like, I love this. I love the rain. I love all that stuff. But here, we have a lot of, like, it's super hot, and then the next day it's super cold, for no reason. So it's just like global warming is just like, ha ha ha, LA, take this kind of thing.
Of course, and of course, you just mentioned, so you're in LA right now. You're calling from LA, where you're born and bred. How
Yes.
is everything right now? Because I can imagine it's crazy times. You know, the election and lockdown and everything. How has it been?
Oh my god, it's crazy. So like we voted. I voted yesterday. Yesterday was the last day ever to vote. So, yeah, it's just crazy. We're still counting the votes.
Yeah.
So Biden versus Trump, and yeah. So yeah, of course. So like you know, it's just everything's weird. You know, it's weird. So I mean, everyone's really chill here, but just some people are just really mad at the moment. And I'm just like, I pull out of my driveway and people don't like how I pull out of my driveway, or like they see me like walking my dog and they're not happy about how I'm holding the leash or so. It's so weird. It's like a bizarre thing happening right at this moment. It's tripping me out.
Yeah, I can imagine. It sounds crazy over there. I mean, we've all had the news and over here, and I mean, I've heard horrible things about people. The gun count's gone up and everything, hasn't it? So
Yeah.
be careful while you're out there, and don't be pissing people off too much while you're with your driving skills.
Man, I've been pissing people off since I started driving, man. But yeah, no, that's true. You know, people here are boarding, like right here, there's a market right near my house. It's just all boarded up. And there's all these places. Beverly Hills is just boarded up. No one wants to take any chances with like angry, dissatisfied voters.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, it's all crazy times for a musician right now with lockdown and everything like that. For you as an active musician, how have you been finding the time away from live music?
Ooh, man. So just constantly writing. I write every single day, which has been so healing, and a lot of collaboration, which I've overstacked. I'm working with people from England, actually, and like from here and there, even Africa, like just pen pals that were like, oh, let's make this cool Zeppelin cover, or you know. And but I've actually like I have done too much of that, and I'm not really. I don't want to do that anymore. But I've been writing a lot and just recording on GarageBand and just freaking, you know, feeling weird, staying up till like 4 a.m. like just just writing music or just pacing my room with my dog and just being weird.
Yeah, I mean, at least you can enjoy this time, like you say, to get into writing and stuff. Because I have spoken to a lot of musicians during this time, and they've been saying it's one of two ways. One, it can help your creativity because you're having a chance to sit back from it a second and rewrite, like you say, and create new music. But on the other hand, a lot of musicians like yourself, I'm sure, are missing live music. So it's a bit of a sad one. It's like a double-edged sword.
Yes, absolutely, man. I've snuck in a couple of secret shows out in the desert and stuff, and like
Really?
in front of like 10 people. Yeah, but it's not the same really, but it is kind of nice though, because I used to say yes to every live gig and I was just exhausted and I wasn't doing anything new anymore.
Yeah.
Though I was an amazing live performer, but after a while, but then like now I finally get to just metaphorically and literally put up that shelf. I finally get to put it up, nail it to the wall. Clean the floor.
Of course. Now I'm just going to take you back to the beginning a little bit now, from your childhood and when you were a kid. We said obviously you were born and bred in LA, and LA is an amazing place for music. And for you growing up around that, was it inevitable that you'd end up being a musician? What was that like?
It was pretty inevitable. I walked on down Santa Monica's 3rd Street Promenade in Santa Monica, California, and it's famously known for all the performers on the sidewalk. You get a permit and all that. I saw some guitar players there, some drummers there, and I was like, I want to do that because I just saw how much money they were getting. Plus, they were having fun. Like I was in the audience, so I heard people like say like, "Whoa, look at that! Whoa, he can do this or she can do that," and I was like, I want to cause that effect. I just liked how people reacted to it. So, and I was just like 5, so I started doing that when I was 13. From 13 to like 23, I was just doing that every weekend, and that's how I got my chops and started playing the whiskey and all those places. And yeah, it's pretty much everyone here, as I like to say, you literally look up at night, there's no stars. Some say it's because of the pollution or whatever, but I say all the stars in LA are on the ground. You know what I'm talking about?
Right. Are you one of those stars? I think so. Well, obviously, for you, growing up around that's pretty incredible. And I'm really jealous because I've never been to America and I've always wanted to go to LA, just for its music history and, walk down the Sunset Strip and all that kind of stuff. But obviously, I mean, we'll talk about your street performing career in a second, but growing up as well, has music always been your first love? Because I know you just said from 13 you actually, went out and performed, but have you always been a musician, even from being a kid? Did you always play guitar and that kind of thing?
I picked it up when I was like 8 or 9, and I started writing immediately too. And when you start that young, you're just like, you're a sponge. You just get really good really fast. So by 13, I was ready for the audience and stuff. But actually, I really wanted to be a chef when I was like right before that, like 7.
Really?
I could only when I learned how to crack an egg, and I was like, like my brain was an egg at that moment. I was like, no, I was crazy. And so, and I feel like food is the closest thing to like music in a weird way. You could make it any taste you want. There's different you could style it how you like and do whatever you want. You shift it with your hands and mold it, but it's like you're a vessel. It's coming from somewhere. And it comes from knowledge.
But so you obviously picking up a guitar when you were younger. How did that feel the first time you ever picked a guitar up? Like, what went through your head when you started playing? Like, could you play straight away? Tell me about that.
Yeah, it was weird. It was just like I don't know. I just like picked it up, and I had older brothers that were like playing Sabbath already and stuff. So like, I think I heard Layla by Derek and the Dominoes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Yeah, the electric version.
Yeah.
And I heard it, and I thought it was like a violin or something, just the intro, and I was like, what the hell is that? And I was like, I really wanted to make that too. So I didn't learn that first. I learned like maybe Iron Man, or as everyone does. But like it's immediate. Like my brother's like, all right, do this. I'm like, all right, and I just did it, and it was ever since then. It's just like bam, bam, bam. It's just this open thing where like nothing can stop you, really.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, so going back to you, you know, when you talked about being a street performer, clearly you being a musician from a young age has obviously helped with that. But what was it? What was the, you know, the changeover for you between being a musician at home in your bedroom or whatever, and then being able to go out and perform on the streets? What happened there to make you go and do that?
Oh man, that's a great question. What made that happen? Yeah, because it is scary doing that transition, like, you know,
Yeah,
and then
I bet.
and even transitioning from there to like maybe venues and
Mm,
then touring. It's like, oh man, I know this is not the question, but I remember like going on my first tour, I was like scared. It was like you have to leave like at 4 in the morning. You always have to leave like way before the sun rises,
yeah.
and just to get a start on like some cross country thing. And it's just scary. You're leaving everyone at home, but same thing with going onto the like into the street. I don't know. Well, actually, I don't know. I was just like, it was easy because you could find a spot where nobody walks and stuff. You could just go in a corner, dark corner somewhere,
Yeah.
and then someone
Look
will.
around.
So like, yeah, it's just like shallow water kind of thing. So
Yeah.
I was just, you know, I can't. Wow, that's a great question, Alex. You stumped me. You stumped me. I don't know.
Sorry.
You're good. You're good. I don't know. I just wanted to, I guess. I don't know.
No, that's a good answer. No, obviously, like, I think if you're doing it as a kid, there's going to be a part of you that's like ready to go and show other people what you can do. And I think for you, clearly, that's where it started. You mentioned it's scary going on your first tour, but is it scary performing in the streets? Because essentially, when you're performing in the streets, people are just walking by you. They might happen to stop and watch you. They might walk off. You know, how is that? You know, when you're stood there and you're singing and you're giving it your all, but if people walk by you, that's got to be disheartening, you know.
Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Louder! Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Yeah! Yeah! Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I know you can get louder. Everybody now! Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Yeah! Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Just the ladies, okay? Females! Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Wow. Guys, you don't get a turn. Because this is our last one and I want everyone to do it as you can! Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door.
Yeah, it is. And what you learn so fast, and you learn. I just wrote an article for Music Connection about how to mesmerize an audience.
Yeah.
And I bring up how to what you learn, what urgency can do for you when you're playing on the street. You know, people
Yeah.
are going to the movies or they're going to shopping, but if you can somehow make them forget that they're doing something else and just do it, then you quickly understand what you just did. You don't just like forget. You're like, oh, I like did a bunny hop and I roll on the floor while doing a tapping lick or whatever. I will save that immediately, and like
Yeah.
you're just so desperate, so you're not really like hurt. You're like, oh man, I'll get you next time, you son of a nun. So I don't know, it's just determination, especially as a kid. I think you're just like, fuck it, let's go, come on. Sorry, I don't know if you can cuss or anything.
You are allowed. No, I think as well, like, you know, for you, was that performing side of your life in the streets, as hard as it sometimes can be, do you think that's made you a better performer? Has it made you a better musician overall?
Oh, yes, man, that's the secret. I would tell anyone to start young, you know, and even then, just still play on the streets, just play on the floor, and just because you're right, there's a lot of rejection, so you just learn how to deal with that. There's also like, it's just the skin you build is like crazy. Forget about the audience. There's especially on a controlled performance space where you have to get permits, and there's sound police, and there's homeless people, and there's other performers only I think the actual legal thing is 120 feet away, which is not that far in retrospect, So you're like in competition with 2 performers on either side, and they're break dancers and like a 9-year-old violinist, a cute girl who can just shred, and you're like, damn it, she has it. And these guys are like, so you got to really step it up, and then they're so loud, and people in the audience are like, everything's loud, but you still got to captivate them. And the sound police are like, turn it down. I can't tell you how many tickets I got, sound tickets, but it just and I've had people come in, reach in my bucket, run away, or like pretend like they're giving me money, but they're really just kind of like taking more.
Oh, really?
And I had to run after. Yeah, it's been crazy, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I'm like, yes, because now I'm like, when I go on a stage, I'm like, oh, this is like, oh man, it's like easy. I'm like going to bed right now.
Yeah, and I mean,
to my dreams.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy to hear that people have actually stolen from you. That's a pretty horrible thing for people to do. And when that happens, what do? Do you stop performing and run after them straight away? How does that work?
I do, yeah. I tried. I run out. One time I didn't. I was just like, damn it. I was playing like "Give It Away" by the Chili Peppers or something. I was having fun with the song, so I was like, all right, whatever. I was too into it. But then another time I ran after someone and I got it back. I just grabbed it back, and some spilled, but I got everything back. And they're just so weird. They're like kind of drugged out sometimes, so they're just like, oh, and they walk. Some people just, what's really annoying is just the how would I call these kind of people? They don't want any money from you. Maybe they do, but they're like, they want to make a statement. So they don't really have a lot of homeless people in Santa Monica, don't have a lot of people to talk to. So when they see a crowd, they're like, this is my moment to just be something right now. So they feel like Heath Ledger's Joker or something. They want to just go up into so they just like stand in front of your face like for 4 songs. They do this, and they're like kind of like trying to intimidate you and they're not saying anything. Sometimes they do say something like, this is not, I don't know. They're just like yelling. I can't even hear what they're saying. If I'm playing like Stairway to Heaven, maybe someone's like, oh, yeah, you're like religious, huh? Or whatever. I'm like, come on, they're like, it's rock and roll. But, and like those are the worst people. And a couple times I had altercations with them. Like I had to like put my guitar down. I had to push them. I have to be tough. And sometimes my dad was there, and he was like, he's a 6'2" Polish dude. So he's just like, I feel strong with that behind me. So yeah, he's threatening. Oh, and these one freaking dudes, not even like, I don't even want to just burn out. Like this has happened a couple times. Just drunk people, on Saturday night. Yeah. These freaking frat dudes. You're from England, and I'm sure you've seen movies of just American boys in their in 18s, 19s at a frat house drinking. Those are the worst people on the planet ever. I mean, even in the movies. Yeah. I've dealt with them too. You had neighbors?
Yeah. Oh. Like bad neighbors.
Yeah, like bad neighbors. Yeah, exactly. They are bad neighbors. And but like, Sunday afternoon, they're all drunk after brunch, and they're just buff and like have hats that say swag or something. And they just like come by, and they're like, I don't know, they run up to my like mic when I'm like soloing, like they say some really disgusting thing, and there's like children around, and I get so mad. I'm like, ooh, but sometimes they leave, like somebody like left their hat and I kept it, and they were like, give me my hat back, bro. Yeah, I was like, this is my hat now. You went in front of my mic. That was a crazy thing. I like swung my guitar at him. I don't promote violence at all. I'm just saying, like, you just gotta be, you gotta be ready.
Yeah, you gotta have your wits about you by the sounds of it. It sounds nuts, but it also sounds quite fun. I think that you are definitely prepared for anything that gets thrown your way, having been a street performer for all those years. Let's talk a little bit now about your single, Click on Me. I love this track. It's so stuck in my head. I'm not even joking. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done.
Yes!
Now, obviously, it was released on September 17th, and how has the responses been so far for that? Because I've noticed on YouTube, in a month, you've got nearly 10,000 views on that music video. So how does that feel?
That's great. It's the first time you'll see my other YouTube videos, they have like 1,000. But this has 10,000. I got like 40,000 streams on Spotify, which is great.
Yeah.
So the response has been good. Also, like, I've really like I spent some time. You have to do this. Just email, messaging everyone individually, one by one, like, hey, I think you might like this. This is cool. Been doing that a lot. So it's taught me. It's actually, I've gotten a lot of firsthand responses saying, oh, this is cool. Ah, this is like, some people were honest too. It was like, this is cool, but I like the internet and stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
And but it was just cool. Like it humbles me as much as it shouldn't. It just does. I'm like, I'm so thankful. And yeah, it's, people seem to be cool, and yeah, I'm grateful.
I'm willing to hold on forever for your reply to me.
The concept behind the music and that track is, I think it's really amazing. I think it's really interesting, and it's a different thing to talk about. The fact that everybody can get caught up in the internet and having a certain persona online or wanting to feel connected. Why that theme for you? Have you been caught up in that before? Is that why you wanted to talk about it? What was your writing process for that?
Absolutely. Like, it was something like, I think we all have, where we just like, we're on Instagram and like 30 minutes go by or like an hour go by and you're like, oh man, like I would have loved to like have maybe read that chapter or just walk my dog. And it's nighttime and you just feel like all weird with yourself, or like you're just staying up all late. So there's that physical aspect, but really it's just a subject for a deeper meaning, which is longing for connection and despair or desire. And you just desire to connect, and ultimately the irony of it all is we're so disconnected. We end up being crazy. We want the likes. We want people to like our pictures and whatever, and it's just like this ironic thing. So it's really nothing about the internet at the end of the day, but I just like to use it as that. And people, like, again, like me talking to you right now, I'm having the best time ever, and you are freaking over there.
I know, it's crazy.
So I'm so happy for the internet, but I'm like, man, whenever I take like a week off, I feel amazing. Like my eyes feel better when I just don't look at my phone for a week. It's like crazy. I just feel like I don't know. I just feel like good. So I don't know if that answers anything, but sorry.
I mean, it's so easy to get consumed in the internet, isn't it? And everyone does it. I do it. You've just said that you do it too. And in many ways, it's so helpful, especially for a musician and for what we're doing right now. We couldn't do it without the internet. But I think sometimes there's got to be a time where people just kind of put it down. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And like, I use it for writing too. When I write music, I like to, a lot of writers back in the 70s and stuff, they would always have a dictionary with them. I have dictionary.com or something, or I like to just read up on history too. So it's actually really an intellectual thing to have as well. But yeah, absolutely. Like, you just got to put it down. You got to find that balance. And especially if you're a creative person like you and I, we got to like creatively, because we're inspired by like trees and stuff. We got to remember that. I'm inspired by dirt. Like when I pick it up, I'm like, whoa, So like, we don't need frickin' like seeing someone else looking at dirt or anything. No, the next Derek Day song, The Dirt. The Dirt inspires me. Yeah, like Motley Crue. Have you read it? Have you read The Dirt? I haven't read it. I've seen the movie. It's funny. It's fun. Good stuff. I know. If anybody's going to be a rock star, you have to watch that, isn't it? That's going to give you a number one insight. Back to Click on Me. So the music video, I've heard that this was affected by the pandemic. Your initial ideas couldn't go ahead, could they? So can you talk to me a little bit about how that's impacted the video, in its entirety, and also why you ended up doing, an animation and 3D kind of effects? How did all that come about? Very astute observation, Alex. I think I'm very happy with how it turned out, and of course, like, I wanted to do like maybe some live things and with my band. The live footage you see in there is actually my band at NAMM from this year. I saw that. In the bus. Yeah, we're just in the bus, but also like in the video itself, we're like in a booth, like playing like acoustically. It's just in there, and
but so it was created by Jeremy Ian Thomas. He's an amazing animator, and we went through like 10 animators, and we found this guy. We saw his work. We're like, we like how it looks. We called him. Me and my co-write Vernon Reid from Living Color.
Yeah.
We called him, and he just spoke 2 words, and we're like, oh, we love you. He's just like seriously part of the band. We're like, wow, like you're just freaking cool. So it was just so meant to be. And I would say if this pandemic didn't happen, we would probably just do like a cool live footage and probably some cheesy acting of me on my phone or something, and it wouldn't have been as impactful. But Jeremy really created a whole world, and he gave it a good narrative, strong narrative of someone who's just the person in there. You could see he's affected by not just the internet, but by his social surroundings and everything. And so it's just, that's just how it was affected by the pandemic. Oh, you'll see some like coronavirus things in there, like
almost, it's the little viruses floating around. And obviously you just mentioned Vernon Reid as well, because I know that he obviously worked with you on the song. How was it working with him, as well as obviously your director and everything, because he is obviously well known in Living Color? So has he given you any cool, useful tips? How did you end up working together?
Man, anytime I talk, like, it sounds so nerdy, but like I love Star Wars and he loves Star Wars, but like it feels like he's a Jedi master and I'm his like Padawan, and that's all it is. Every time I talk to him, he just lays the knowledge down on anything, and he just says it so eloquently. He's so just, what's the word for like having a great big vocabulary? What's that word? That's so ironic.
We don't know the word.
Yeah, it's just like oxymoron happening right now. Anyway, but he like uses these great words, and like I'm like, whoa, like, and it's just he's so inspiring. And like he calls me every now and then, like when Eddie Van Halen died, he called me. He's just like, I just wanted to talk to a guitar player, and I was like, thank you, because we were all just like, oh, but he's just like a brother to me, and like I love him, I love his family. And but yeah, he's like a master Jedi. He just tells me, and dude, you got to do it like this, and you got to do it like this, like this. And then I would affirm that, be like, yeah, I got to do it like that. And then he would be like, you know what I'm saying? And then that's it. And then we move on. It's so great. Yeah,
I mean, that sounds really inspiring, you know, being able to work with someone like him as well. What happened? How did you meet? Because I read something to do with New York, and were you on a plane?
Yes.
What happened? Can you tell us what happened? How you met?
Oh yeah. Or you know what? My manager must have met Vernon like years ago at a Living Color show. I don't know where, like maybe in New York. But I played with him. I got to just play with him for a Chuck Berry tribute show, and I was on stage, and just for one song. And he was like, oh, you're good. And like, I don't know, my manager set that up with his manager, Tommy, and everything was cool. And then following year, I went on to, like a month later, because I was on the Ted Nugent tour at that time.
Yeah, okay.
So I was with a whole different crowd. And then like a month later, when we finished the tour, they went on tour, or they were continuing their tour. And he invited us on. He's like, come play with us. So we went on tour with Living Color all across the US. And then we came back, and he's just, he's like, he was down. He's like, yeah, we should write some time. I flew over to his house that New Year's morning, like 3 a.m. on New Year's Day. I just like went over, and we just,
nice.
It was crazy. Yeah,
what an amazing start to a new year.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, and obviously, you just mentioned the tours and the festivals and things like that you've been on, Sweden, here in the UK, obviously in America. You always give 110% when you perform. I think there's something special about you when you perform, because I've obviously seen the street performance videos, but I've also seen you live on stage, real, live music setting. You better say it. I need more of this here. For anybody that's not yet seen you, you know, with your performances, there's definitely a sense of just amazing creativity that oozes out of you. You know, you are obviously really, you've got a good sense of humor on stage, and I think that comes across as well in your performances. So where do you get your energy from? Because there's a lot of it in a really good way. Where does that come from for you?
That's a good question. That's a fun question. Well, first of all, thank you. You know, I try. No, but really, I really just acknowledge my present being. So as long as I know that this is all happening right now, and I feel like it's very meditative, I'm like, whoa. And then that sort of like takes everything into perspective, like death, and like you look at it and you're like, how like, you know, how important, like how big it affects people's literal lives, and but also how dumb it is, and how you should really just do the exact opposite. So it's kind of like this weird serotonin like release kind of thing. I also like, and in order to enhance that, I do certain things before show. Like I don't eat. I eat at like 12 p.m. If I'm playing at 8, I eat like one big meal at 12, and I don't eat it all the rest of the day. I'm just super light on my feet, and I stretch my hands. I do my vocal warm-ups like 30 minutes before, no more, no less, kind of. And that way I'm just like lanky and weird and feeling weird. Get a little head rush from like stretching and stuff. Stretching is the best freaking exercise ever. Ever. But yeah, it's just really just remembering that you're present, and then everything just comes right after. It just flows in. You remember to observe, or to look into people's eyes, and or to like communicate more and not be in your own world. Because I don't like it. My friend Debbie Holiday once told me, like, man, does she hate it when people just like looking down the whole set, and they're like into themselves, and they're just like, oh, if you want to come in, you can, but you're not. I'm not hoping you do, but I'm like, you know, I want to just like bring like get them in my face and like look at me. So,
yeah, I think that's certainly brought across, and everybody has their own wicked ways, everybody has their own little rituals. Clearly that's yours. But I just want to say to you as well, like, I don't believe that you can manufacture that kind of energy. I think you've either got it or you haven't, and clearly you do. So, and I think it makes for a great performance, genuinely. And I really enjoy your stuff at the moment, and I think it's really cool. I'm sure other people will too. I'm excited to hear what people have got to say about it, you know, even going forward. So yeah.
Me too. Yeah.
And I think one of the other things that I was, you know, curious about from you is just this roller coaster ride that you've been on since officially releasing music in 2018. How would you sum up the last couple of years for you? How, you know, sounds like it's been a roller coaster anyway.
It totally has been. You know, and you know, it's using that metaphor, it really more just feels like going up on the roll. It's like, so it's that click, 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 click thing. So it doesn't really, I don't know if I've had a couple of whoa, but then I go up again, like real immediately down. So it kind of feels like that, because I've had those moments. I got to like play with Moby and Steve, and like go on tour and stuff. But then it just goes back up, and I think I like that click up, because it, you know, that usually means I'm just working more. I'm like, I need to work more and like keep writing and keep doing that and finding new avenues. So, but it's just been like an insane. It really has. That's the sort of thing. Those kind of events really affect my live performance. It makes me more present. I'm like, whoa, and I'm like, every moment of my life, I notice everything around me, and it's just real, without having to sit down and like really try to forget things. I of course my mind is racing all the time, and I'm insecure, and I'm this and that, and all these sort of normal things, but also I just notice like how green a leaf is. And so I appreciate that sort of thing. And yeah.
And I mean, obviously, you know, all that you just mentioned, and obviously, I mean, it's not a horrible word, but like, you're a very wacky performer in a good way. I love it.
Thank you.
Who inspires you to do what you do? It's like, have you got any influences? Because also, I will say about your music, it's quite original at the moment. No one's really doing what you're doing. Yeah, so, well, especially not over here in the UK anyway. We've got this thing called New Wave of Classic Rock over here in the UK, and everybody's doing, you know, amazing things, but it's rock and it's metal and it's classic rock. Whereas you've got a good mix of genres there, haven't you? So, who inspires you to do what you do?
Wow, that's would you say new wave of classic rock?
Yeah, that's what we've got over here at the minute for the new bands that are coming through. Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I love hearing those bits of information. It's just that's cool. But no, I mean like as far as I like to attack my guitar and like Stevie Ray Vaughan kind of. Yeah. So just like try to break it every time I play it. So yeah. That kind of that influences like tone and like it kind of makes it I don't know, it get a very specific snarl off of that. And then yeah. And I love there's this one performance of Stevie Ray singing "You Better Leave My Little Girl Alone." And I can't remember where it is, but if you type it in, it'll probably be the first thing you find. Yeah. And he's so like, I saw it when I was like 8 or something, and he's just so into it, and he really means it. And like and it's like you see him like he's like sweating with anger. It's crazy. It's like when you see that, that's how I like approach my performances. I just try to feel every word I say. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. I'm trying to I have to thank my friends. I have a lot of friends that just show me new stuff. Like just when they say, "Hey, check this album out," just check it out. Don't make the time to find it out, because then you'll find your new favorite thing always. Yeah. You'll always find something about it. So like yeah, I just like listening to like my boy Nate. He showed me like bands like Ween. Have you heard of Ween?
No, I've never heard of them.
I love them. Ween plays every genre. They're like a 90s band. They have this hit called Push Little Daisies, and they mess around with weird tones and stuff, but they do like funk, metals, everything. Like
cool.
They even have an album called 12 Great Country Hits.
Okay.
And it's like insane or something like that. Yeah. And so they're insane. Those guys, and like there's like, you know, I heard like the new Kamasi Washington record came out this year, and he's like the new Coltrane. He's like this what I like about him is like he puts vocals into his jazz, so he's very vocal heavy. There's like a lot of choir, like but he's playing like so it's like it's just like he's doing new stuff. He's adding textures and yeah. And I think the weirder the band is, like Ween is weird, and they're literally two bug-eyed guys. Like they have big bug eyes and they look weird, and yeah. And like jazz artists are usually weird looking, and like there's like talking heads. Those guys are weird looking. I think the weirder, and Stevie Ray Vaughan too. He has like, you know, he like looks funny kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
The weirder the artist looks, I think the more influenced by all genres you'll be. You know, even if you just listen to one weird artist, it'll just be like, whoa. Yeah. The cute guys and the cute people, whatever. It's like, even like Zeppelin, they're like cute and they're amazing, but like you won't get too far with inventing something.
For you, obviously you're cross genres. That's a tongue twister. How do you pick the kind of music that you want to play? Do you pick, or does it just come naturally to you, and then it has to be, you know, put into a bracket eventually? But like, you know, funk and rock and so there's all sorts for you. And where does it come from?
That's actually a great point you just made. Like eventually you worry about like what to do with it kind of later. Yeah. But yeah, that's how you write music. Honestly, I don't know why you're not writing music right now. You should. You kind of have. You just like laid all this knowledge on me right now. But yeah, seriously, like that's what writing is playtime. So yeah, you just kind of really feel out whatever you want. You could there's a billion ways to do it, but usually I sing my riffs in my head before playing them. And I don't really have a genre for them at all, and I just run into it and do it, and then it ends up sounding like, oh, it's kind of funk, and it's just subconsciously from listening to Parliament or something, or James Brown, and it's super subconscious, so I don't really pick it at all. But then eventually, like my fingers, my Stevie Ray attack, and my like my whatever, like whatever other stuff I kind of do with my hands. However I learned, because I learned from like guys like maybe like Slash and Living Color and like Steve Vai and Hendrix. So eventually it's gonna sound really heavy rock and stuff, but it's gonna have that tweak of whatever I sang in my head, which is a subconscious James Brown or subconscious Bob Marley or Ween or something. Like there's always, so it's just infused, it makes itself like what, you know.
Yeah. And I mean, obviously, you just mentioned Slash as well. I'm a massive Guns N' Roses fan. Slash is one of my heroes. I've got his picture on my wall. Don't tell him I said that. But obviously, I heard that you got, you know, brought on stage and introduced by him once. What happened? How was that?
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, my band opened up for them, for him and Miles, and it was freaking nuts. And it was at the Palladium, and this band is in development right now, and we're recording an album. We're gonna record it in December. It's called Classless Act.
Cool.
And we already recorded half of it with Bob Rock. He did like the Black Album and stuff, and all that stuff. So but yeah, so with that band, we got to go up with Slash, and it's just, it was, whenever I think about, you notice, I'm like, I just get all like weird. I'm like, whoa, it's because it's weird.
Yeah, I bet.
I got to meet Slash and Miles and the whole band, and they're just so nice. Like Miles Kennedy is so nice, and he's just like this angelic person, and but on stage at the Palladium, that's what the trip was like. Opening for Slash or anyone, it's so heavy at the Palladium. It feels like there's like weights on my feet, so I was like moving around, and it was just heavy, and you feel the energy of everyone that's ever been there. It was weird. Like when I did this, I feel like I saw, and I wasn't on drugs or anything. It's like I did this, but I feel like I saw, like, you know, like a color, like a green mist happen from them. Like, whoa. I was just like, what's going on? And then I saw them play afterward, and they killed it, of course.
Yeah, nice. And you just touched on, obviously, Music With You as a band as well. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Tell us what it's called, what's happening. Yeah.
Classless Act. We've been writing with all sorts of different musicians. It's hard to talk about them because we have nothing out, and we have like we have a logo, we have an Instagram and stuff. But it's kind of like, I don't want to promote them too much until I know we have like here at least one song you could listen to, because I want you to judge us. I want everyone to be like, oh, that is awesome, or like, this sucks, and then I'll feel good. I'll be like, yes, thank you. But it's just like, we're 5-piece. I'm just a singer in that band.
Okay.
And it's just like a rock and roll straight ahead, but it's actually kind of like leaning more toward maybe some pop potential and like some cool stuff. It's crazy. We're like in pre-production now, so we're kind of shaping like what we really want to sound like. It might be something really new, to be honest.
Yeah, cool. Obviously, it's a different branch out for you as well. But so that's coming up. That's to come from you as a singer. Derek Day stuff. What can we expect in the near future? Have you got anything that's happening to you right now that you can tell us about?
Not really. Yeah, I'm like, I have to think about it. I think actually I have a bunch of like singles released. I recorded it at the same time with Click on Me. It was a while ago. It was like 2018. I just have all these things, and I just never put them out because I was like, I don't know, like I just feel like so like. But I think I'm just gonna throw them out like December or Stella. Come on, sorry, it's my dog. Yeah, it's a big German Shepherd.
Oh, is it?
She's cute. Named after Stella from what's the streetcar named Desire? Have you seen that?
No.
With Marlon Brando, he's like, Stella, Stella. So that's why whenever I call her, it sounds like that. Anyway, I have some other songs. The next single might be Fine Lines. It'll be like December, January, maybe. And I'm just gonna throw it out. Maybe a little video with it too, like Click on Me, but maybe more me just performing it. And it's a song. What's Fine Lines about? It's about like, you know, kind of what it sounds like, you know, not being what are the fine lines in any situation. Stella, she hates that song, that's why.
wants to say hello. She's giving her opinion, obviously. She's just saying, look, it's this.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
And on a separate note, anyway, I like to ask people this question, and I always get different responses, so I'm excited to hear what yours might be. But have you got a motto, a saying, or a quote that you like to live your life by?
By me? From me?
Well, it can be from a film or something that you've heard before. A motto, a saying, or a quote. Something that you like to live your life by.
Oh, wow. Damn it. Oh, what? That's a hard question. Oh. Actually, I gotta say this. I think I got one. And, you know, I don't want to butcher it at all, because I know exactly what it is. Trust me.
Are you having to Google it?
Yeah, because I don't want to, because there's very specific words in there.
Yeah.
And I put it in my Music Connection article, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so if you guys want to read it, it's pretty cool. So hold on. It's kind of like looking up. It's a good one.
Okay, I'm ready for this one. It better be worth it now, you know, after all this time. I'm like...
Yeah, exactly. It better be. Yeah. What if it's just like "Smoke Weed Every Day" by Nate Dogg? Yeah. Smoke weed every day. No, I don't do that. But anyway, so, every morning upon awakening. Oh, wait, I should make it even louder. Here we go.
Hang on a second. Is this some short story that you're about to tell me?
No, it's just one little sentence. It just sounds crazy, right? Yeah, it sounds like insane already.
You even turned the mic up, ready for it. You're like, who's ready to listen to this?
I have EQ here. I'm gonna put the bass up here, right here. It's gonna sound bassier now too. All right. Every morning upon awakening, I experience a supreme pleasure, that of being Salvador Dali. And I ask myself, wonderstruck, what prodigious thing will he do today, this Salvador Dali? And that's it.
Hey!
It's by Salvador Dali.
I love it. I love all the preparation, all the thought process that went into that. See what I mean? You always give 110%. Look, the bass went up, the voice changed.
Yeah, I could probably go deeper. Well, my voice is so high, and this is the most beard I'll ever grow. I'm forever a kid. I'm just like a little kid forever.
Oh, well, that's nice. Like Peter Pan.
Yeah, I can fly.
Yeah. All right. And finally, have you got a message that you'd like to send out to Derek Day fans, followers, lovers of your music? Have you got anything you want to let them know, and anything that you would like to say to them?
Yeah, first and foremost, I love you all. I love all of you, and we're all friends, and I want you to know that we're friends. I feel like I say that at every show. Like when I see people, I say, you guys, we're friends. We're not, you know, and like you in the back, we're like best friends right now. And because I enjoy your company, and I truly do, and I hope you enjoy mine. So if there's some mutual thing there, like thanks for being my friends. I love you all. So if you know, and I gotta promote, so www.derekdaymusic.com. Derek Day Music on Instagram, Derek Day Music on Facebook, everywhere, Twitter and all that stuff. You'll see what I'm doing. I like to do a lot of fun, dumb things on my Instagram. So it's really just funny. I make little edits on iMovie and just throw it out. It's just me like doing like what, and like stupid. So if you like dumb entertainment, I won't push politics on you. I used to do stuff like that, but I do it subliminally in my songs now. So in person, social media, if you want to just like, it's not dumb stuff, just follow me and you'll be pleased. You'll be like, this is funny. It's like Dimitri Martin humor. It's like weird, dumb, you know, I don't know. I'm mentioning some people like Tim and Eric, some weird Adult Swim, weird off-brand comedy kind of thing, as well as I put out little songs. Like I make little songs on my synthesizer and I throw it out. You guys want to hear to have fun? Let's do it. Let's go.
Cool. That's it. If people want to follow you online, that's what they get from you, and that's brilliant. I love it. And obviously during lockdown, people need happiness. People need something to watch. So it's perfect. It's the perfect thing. Perfect plan. Go follow Derek Day. All right. Well, Derek, thank you so much for chatting. It's an absolute pleasure talking to you and to meet you as well.
Oh, I had so much fun, Alex. We're gonna do this every week. I'll call you tomorrow.
Yeah, give me a ring.
Yeah.
No, thank you so much for chatting on the day. It's been fun.
Thanks, Alex. Cool. All right, I'll let you hang up. You do the hang up. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, you know what? Well, sorry, let me take the stairs.
Are you back? Oh, you're back.
I'm back. I took the elevator up.